and welcome to Channel 9 News Broadcast. Today we're covering two stories. The first story, Europe's physical features. Europe has many different physical features. Yes, it is a small continent, but it's very diverse. Many different landforms, water features, and climates can be found there. We may call Europe a continent, but it's actually a part of Eurasia. Eurasia is a large landmass that includes both Europe and Asia. Ural Mountains are known to be the boundary between two continents, but there is not one between a part of Europe and Asia, so that is how Eurasia became Eurasia. You can see that different parts of Europe have very different features. In other words, Europe's topography varies from place to place. Europe's landforms and waterways cover most of the northern area. The mountain ranges cover most of southern Europe. Some of the peaks in the Alps can reach higher than 15,000 feet. Most of the highest mountains have large snowfields and glaciers, and our next story is on Europe after the fall of Rome. Now time for our questions.
Describe Europe.
Europe technically isn't even its own continent, given the fact that it's attached to Asia, making it Eurasia.
What is Eurasia?
Eurasia-
Where is it?
Eurasia is the continent of Europe, the continent combined with the continent of Asia, making Eurasia, and it's divided by the Alpine Mountains.
What continent is to the right of Europe?
Asia, the continent attached to it.
What landforms cover Europe?
In the northern region of Europe, it's mostly waterways, and in the southern, it's mountain ranges.
How high can the mountains go?
The mountains in the southern region get up to 15,000 feet high.
Now going to the second story, Europe after the fall of Rome. As the Roman Empire fell, various groups from the north and east moved into former Roman lands. As they moved in, these groups created their own states. Some rulers of these states, usually powerful warlords, began to call themselves kings. Usually the kings often fought among themselves. As a result, by the early 500s, Europe was divided into many small kingdoms. The creation of these kingdoms marked the beginning of the Middle Ages, a period that lasted from about 500 to about 1500s. We call this the Middle Ages because it falls between ancient times and modern times. At the beginning of the Middle Ages, many of the kingdoms of the northern Europe were not Christian. Christianity was only common in the places that had been part of the Roman Empire, such as Italy and Spain. As the time passed, however, Christianity slowly spread was larger through the efforts of two groups of Christians, missionaries, and monks. On to the questions.
Now time for a commercial break.
You want some cute clothes?
Come on down to pink.
50% off all hoodies and 20% off all perfume and body spray.
Now time for the questions.
What are the Middle Ages?
Middle Ages, it's a period of time that lasted from about 500 to 1500.
Is there another name for Middle Ages?
Yes, the medieval period is another name for the Middle Ages.
Did anything happen during the Middle Ages?
Yes, at the beginning of the ages, many kingdoms in northern Europe were not Christian.
What are monks?
People who separated themselves from society and decided to study Christianity.
What are communities of monks?
Communities of monks are called monasteries. Thanks for watching Channel 9 News Broadcast. Now time for a commercial break.
You want some cute clothes?
Come on down to pink.
50% off all hoodies and 20% off all perfumes and body spray.
Now time for a commercial break
You want some cute
so that it holds your phone up.